The blood. State the components of blood. Explain how red blood cells transport oxygen. Explain the functions of white blood cells and platelets. So the blood supplies the cells in the body with the materials they need, as well as removing the waste products. And if the cells didn't have a good blood supply, they would just stop working. So blood has to be replaced very quickly if somebody loses a lot of blood in an accident via like a blood transfusion. So there are 4 components of blood. There are red blood cells, white blood cells, plasma, and platelets. And actually, 55% of the blood is actually plasma, this yellowy straw-like structure. Less than 1% of the blood is platelets and white blood cells. And then 45% of the blood is red blood cells. So the reason the blood looks red is because of the red blood cells. So the blood looks red, but the liquid part isn't actually red. It's actually a straw-coloured liquid called plasma. The red colour comes from the red blood cells which are suspended in the plasma. So both the plasma and the red blood cells play an important role in transporting substances around the body. So white blood cells in the blood, also known as leukocytes, form part of the body's defence system against pathogens. And you probably already know they act in 3 main ways: producing antibodies, producing antitoxins, and engulfing pathogens by phagocytosis. Then you've got platelets, which are small fragments of dead red blood cells. And they don't have a nucleus, and they help to reduce blood loss if you cut yourself by producing a clot at the site of the wound. So platelets, the function is to, if you've cut yourself, to heal that cut and form a scab or clot. Okay. Plasma contains mainly water with a number of dissolved substances. So dissolved substances include soluble sugars, amino acids, fatty acids, glycerol products of digestion, and these soluble products are absorbed from the small intestine and then they're transported in the plasma to other body organs that need them. So you can see here the soluble products of digestion are things like glucose, other simple sugars, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, etc. But the other function of plasma is to transport the waste materials. So carbon dioxide is a waste gas which is produced during respiration, and then carbon dioxide is transported in the plasma from respiring cells to alveoli in the lungs. And then as the blood flows around the alveoli, the carbon dioxide is removed by diffusion and then breathed out. Then another waste product is urea, which is produced from excess amino acids. And urea is made in the liver, and then it's transported in the blood plasma to the kidneys, where it is removed in the form of urine. Transporting oxygen. Blood contains red blood cells. These are specialised cells that transport oxygen to all cells of your body, and they are a biconcave disc shape, which means that they have a larger surface area to carry more oxygen around the body. They also have no nucleus, again, so that they can carry more oxygen around the body, and each cell is packed with a protein called hemoglobin. So as the blood flows through the alveoli and the lungs, the hemoglobin combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, and then when it flows through the respiring tissues, when the blood gets to the body, to the respiring tissues, the oxyhemoglobin then splits up into separate hemoglobin and oxygen, and the oxygen is then given to the tissues for the cells to use during respiration. That's the components of the blood.